few days ago, I have been through an article from the Harvard Business Review magazine, and the title was, what is the most important human skill that an AI can't replace or cannot be replaced by AI? I sat with it, and also I have to say that since a few months, I have seen quite a lot of articles around this topic about human skills, AI skills, human capabilities, AI capabilities, and so forth. And I get some tension, reading this question in that way. And then I said, I wonder whether when we ask this question in that frame, are we not accepting AI as a benchmark of our worth, of human worth? Do we not accept that human is utilities? And then I also say, okay, what could be a question? How could we flip that? And also, how could we flip that first? What is wrong of asking this question of human being replaceable? Is it not showing somehow our anxiety around that question? Am I replaceable? It's also, for example, since quite some years, there's in pharma a lot of layoff because of redundancy. So you are replaced because there's one open role, even though it's in different countries, it's going to be only one role somewhere. So the people are afraid, and I have seen as a consultant the consequence on people health around being redundant, and what is the frustration, the anger, all the emotion that are going around feeling that you are redundant and that you are going to be replaced somehow at some point. So when you get this question, am I replaceable? I also see two things. And I also see it because I'm studying burn-on. And typically there's like a fusion of, am I loved for what I am, or am I loved for what I do? And if you feel that you are loved for what you do, of course, if you don't do anything or anymore, am I still lovable? Wow. If we sit with that, I can understand clearly the anxiety of everybody. I will be anxious too, because it's fundamentally a requirement to feel love, to be surrounded, to have this relation, to relate with others. So if we bring people into only utility, and of course they are certainly replaceable. But if we take them as a being, and I like Bob Chapman because he framed it in that way. He said every employee is a precious child of someone. So of course, in that regard, is not replaceable. So here's the thing. When we took, maybe let me summarize what I'm just thinking of. So are we asking the right question when I compare human to AI, to a computer machine? Second, am I not confusing being and doing when I ask this question? If so, it's a big threat for our biology. It's an enormous threat for our biology. Let's take the primate. In the primate, and we are also part of the primate, we can see that where you rank on the status, on the hierarchy of the social organization of your group, if you're on the top of the hierarchy, usually you have more testosterone, you have more strengths, and so forth. You are socially quite protected. If you rank on the bottom, you have less testosterone, for male, I'm talking. You have a chronic stress, really stress, because everyone is beating you, everybody is not respecting you, and so on. They show you that you are ranking at the bottom. So you have a really difficult time. So metabolically is extremely taxing, extremely. So let's bring this to humans. The biology of someone that feels that he's redundant or feel or perceive that his or her status is threatened in any ways, whether it's AI, whether it's redundancy because there's a reorganization in the structure or whatever is going on, if I feel it, also today there's a big financial pressure as well. If you don't work, basically you cannot eat, you cannot have a home and so forth. So this also brings another layer of stress for people. You are metabolically really fragile. You are stressed, and I won't say stress, actually, you are in distress. And most you are in despair. And if you are in despair, thinking, feeling that there's no chance for you to move forward in the status, or you are going to lose your status on the society because you are losing your role because of this confusion between who you are and what you do or you can do, you are going really to be, your capacity to adapt is going to shrink. And this, we call it disease, because you are going to go into from an acute stress to a chronic stress. And this is really metabolically tricky. It's really costly because from a biological point of view, if I am stressed all the day, all long, 24 hours, 7 days, or maybe years, maybe decades, what is going to happen? Your body is going to be focusing on making you survive. And every function that is about maintenance of your body, repair of your body, all this is not anymore on the agenda. So what is going to happen after years of surviving? There's so many chronic diseases that are going to happen after 10, 15 years, 20 years. Because a disease does not appear from one day to the other. A cardiac attack does not come in one day and tomorrow you have it. It's slow down, built slowly. The stiffness of your artery are building slowly because your cardiovascular system adapt to a higher pressure that is ongoing all the time. So here's the biological cost around this question. And all of these, I can summarize it with one thing. This is what we call the allostatic load. Allostatic load is when it's too much, too long, too frequent, that the body tries to compensate, but There's really things that keep you healthy that are off the agenda for your body, because energetically is costly. So do I survive, or do I repair or maintain? And here's the thing. We know AI, we know the tool, we start to know the tool. From the ethical point of view, we need also with the agent, take care of of the ethic of the use of them, the compliance around this using agent as well. But if we put this off, for an individual, for the collective, what does it mean? It means, how could we design a life using AI as a tool, keeping as a tool and not as a benchmark for our worth? Keep it as its place. It's a tool that human has created. So if we create something, of course, we can certainly limit it in some ways. Somehow, I'm not an IT person, so this has to be in conversation with different entities. This is also with many brains that wisdom happens, that we come up with wisdom. That's also why we are not replaceable as also at individual level, because we think differently, we perceive the world differently, we have a lived experience that is not similar to another one. And this is any ecosystem is diverse thanks to that. And because it's diverse, is robust. Is robust also because there's redundancy, there's different pathways to come to another, to a same point. Of course, it's energetically not efficient sometimes, but this is the way. When you have a road that is blocked, you have another one that can take care of the rest. You have also a negative feedback loop. Scientific knows what I mean by this.